came here to win rings, not babysit anyone.
Wayne Nelson. Luka Dončić didn't whisper it. He didn't try to smooth it over or wrap it in polite language. He said it plainly. He came to win championships, not babysit anyone. With that single sentence, the temperature inside the Los Angeles Lakers organization instantly rose. One comment, and suddenly the entire building felt heavier. This wasn't a stable locker room to begin with. Tension had already been building beneath the surface. Agents were watching closely. The front office was under pressure. LeBron James had quietly stepped into full protector mode, guarding both his legacy and his circle. There were whispers about a leaked group chat that no one has fully confirmed or denied. And the unease? It didn't start this season. It has reportedly been simmering for years. At the heart of it all is a deeper question about direction and control. Can a team truly chase a championship when rotation spots feel political? When one side of the locker room is focused on preserving legacy and the other is obsessed with rings at any cost? That philosophical divide, long-term image versus immediate results, creates friction that no stat sheet can measure. In high-stakes environments like Los Angeles, where banners define greatness and scrutiny never fades, even a single sentence can expose fault lines. Dončić's blunt declaration didn't just challenge teammates, it challenged the structure around them. It forced the organization to confront an...
Like I said, I didn't know. I was actually at home about to watch a movie with my wife and got the phone call. So I had no idea. I found out like an hour later I was no longer with the team. So I was in shock, obviously. Had no idea that, it was happening. I mean, now it's, I'm kind of over it and just kind of, getting ready to play with.
Be honest about it. This isn't just basketball. This is power, pride, and pressure colliding in one of the most scrutinized franchises in sports. Now, rewind to February 1st, 2025, the day the blockbuster trade between Luka Dončić and Anthony Davis became official. It was the kind of move that doesn't just tweak a roster, it flips a franchise's direction overnight. Dončić arriving in Los Angeles wasn't just another transaction. It was a declaration that the Los Angeles Lakers were choosing their next era. But that's also where the cracks reportedly began to show. According to reports circulating at the time, the trade was supposed to be handled quietly and professionally. The plan was simple. Players would hear directly from team leadership in a controlled, respectful manner. No chaos, no surprises, just clarity. That's not how it unfolded. Before official calls were completed, word began spreading. Phones buzzed, text messages flew. Some players allegedly learned about the trade through media alerts instead of management. In an organization built on relationships and hierarchy, that kind of breakdown hits hard. When trust fractures at that level, it doesn't instantly repair itself. It lingers in conversations. It lingers in locker rooms. For veterans who had built bonds with Davis, the move felt abrupt, almost cold. For LeBron James, it was layered. Publicly, he was supportive, presenting unity and optimism. Privately, though, the situation required calculation. A new superstar meant a shift in power dynamics, leadership structure, and long-term vision. Because trades like that aren't just about talent, they're about control. They reshape...
My emotions all over the place, obviously. Just want a big win, huge win in the Garden. I was out. I was with my family at dinner and got the news. And the first time I heard that, I thought it was for sure fake. It was a hoax. People messing around, whatever. But then when AD called me, AD FaceTimed me and talked to him for quite a while. And even when I got off the phone with him, it still didn't seem real, and it still pretty much didn't seem real until saw Luka today, and then I saw the clip of AD at the Dallas shooting. That's when it finally hit me like.
For Luka Dončić, the transition wasn't simple. He didn't walk into a locker room that was fully settled, fully united, or fully his. He walked into uncertainty, into a space where roles were still being redefined and alliances were still shifting. Fast forward to media day. Cameras were up. Questions were sharp. The spotlight was unavoidable. Dončić stayed calm, but he didn't dodge anything. That's when he delivered the line that echoed through the organization. He came to win rings, not babysit anyone. He didn't mention names, but he didn't have to. In a team trying to balance legacy, family ties, and championship urgency, everyone understood the subtext. One sentence landed like a thunderclap. From that point forward, the story wasn't just about rotations and matchups. It became about power structure, about timelines, about who the franchise truly belongs to. Then came the detail that made everything feel even more chaotic.
Mavericks are trading Luka Dončić, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. It's a three-team deal that includes Utah, according to our Sean.
Imagine being Anthony Davis in that moment. A player who sacrificed his body for Los Angeles, played through injuries, anchored the defense when the roster thinned out, and helped deliver a championship, only to learn he was headed to Dallas through a social media link in a group chat. According to reports, Davis was stunned. He called it devastating. And that reaction makes sense. That wasn't just a routine transaction. It felt like a cold roster adjustment. It's a shift in gravity. For more than 2 decades, LeBron has been the gravitational center of every team he's played on. Offense runs through him. Narratives orbit around him. But Dončić didn't come to Los Angeles to play a supporting role. He didn't arrive to wait his turn. He came because he believed there was a legitimate championship window. What he stepped into, however, appeared more complicated. From the outside, the situation began to look less like a pure title pursuit and more like a carefully managed legacy operation. Protect the brand, protect the narrative, develop Bronny James strategically, and keep everything aligned with the James timeline. The uncomfortable truth? No one outside that inner circle publicly signed up for that blueprint. Then came November 15th against the Milwaukee Bucks.
I would probably be targeting the Memphis Grizzlies as a trade partner for Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, that'd be a great fit.
I would.
For whom?
Well, that's
Bronny James logged 10 minutes that night. He went 0 for 2 and made minimal impact. More telling was the stretch he shared on the floor with Luka Dončić. During those minutes, the team's net rating dropped to minus 4.2. That's not insignificant. It means that even with one of the most dominant offensive engines in basketball orchestrating the offense, the lineup was still being outplayed, not because of Dončić, but because the supporting pieces weren't holding up. Coaches noticed that immediately. J.J. Redick, in his first year as head coach, reportedly reached a visible point of frustration that night. Insiders described him on the sideline urging Bronny to take the open shot, to be aggressive, to stop hesitating. Eventually, he pulled him from the game and didn't put him back in. That moment carried weight. Behind the scenes, there had already been speculation that LeBron James supported Redick's hiring, and with that support came expectations. Bronny wouldn't just get token minutes in blowouts, he would receive legitimate rotation time, real opportunities, even during what was supposed to be a championship push. And that's where the tension sharpens, because developing a young player and chasing a title simultaneously is delicate. When those goals align, it's seamless. When they don't,
the thing. Because you got to figure out the package. There's a world where you can do what's best for your team and do what's best for Austin, because Austin deserves to get paid.
But the
Milwaukee Bucks weren't playing development basketball. They hunted matchups and attacked weaknesses. At that level, every possession is a test, and J.J. Redick wasn't about to let his team be exploited just to protect a narrative. So he made a coaching decision, and that's when things escalated. LeBron James, sidelined that night with back issues, was still in the building. Reports suggested he wasn't pleased. There were tense backstage conversations and visible frustration about how everything looked publicly. In the NBA, once something happens in front of cameras, the entire league takes notice. Then Luka Dončić gave an interview that only intensified the situation. He said he came to win championships, not to babysit, outing that development belongs in the G League and that title windows aren't classrooms. It wasn't subtle. After that, the locker room energy shifted. The tension was palpable. That's when Rich Paul entered the picture. When narratives start spinning, representation moves quickly. If Luka wasn't going to treat Bronny as a protected priority, then the issue wasn't just about minutes anymore. It was about influence. And in Los Angeles, power struggles rarely stay quiet. On January 13th, the Lakers lost 124-112 to the Sacramento Kings. It was an ugly defeat, but the real explosion came afterward. That same night, Rich Paul went on his Game Theory podcast and referred to Austin Reeves as an asset rather than simply a teammate. He floated the idea of trading Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr. to help Memphis fix its defense. On the surface, it sounded like normal basketball analysis. It wasn't. Everyone knows Luka enjoys playing alongside Reeves. The spacing, the IQ, the chemistry. Reeves smooths out the offense. So publicly labeling him as movable wasn't random commentary. It was leverage. The message was clear. No one on the roster was untouchable. Reeves' agent, Reggie Berry, understood immediately. With Reeves approaching potential max contract territory, possibly near $200 million, this wasn't trivial. Franchise-level money changes everything. You don't allow your client to become collateral damage in someone else's power struggle. Reports say that after the Kings' loss, both agents were in the tunnel, and what followed was heated enough to require security intervention. That doesn't happen over casual trade speculation. It happens when control is being contested. For Luka, this cuts deeper than rotation minutes. It raises concerns about whether roster decisions are purely basketball-driven or influenced by relationships, branding, and legacy planning. For someone who came to Los Angeles believing in a clear championship window, that's unsettling. Winning can't be secondary to politics. This tension didn't begin in Los Angeles. It traces back to 2020, when LeBron pitched Nike on Team LeBron, envisioning his own sub-brand, an ecosystem similar to what Michael Jordan built with Jordan Brand. LeBron has always chased greatness on the court, but off the court he has pursued permanence, a legacy that outlives his playing days. The player he publicly envisioned as a cornerstone of that movement was Luka Dončić, but Luka chose differently. He signed with Jordan Brand, the very legacy LeBron has been compared to throughout his career. It wasn't accidental, it was symbolic. Every time Luka steps on the floor wearing the Jumpman logo while posting MVP-level numbers, it underscores alignment with Jordan's lineage, not LeBron's. LeBron even admitted that decision bothered him. That level of honesty revealed how personal it felt. This wasn't just about sneakers, it was about identity. Luka wasn't positioning himself as LeBron's successor. He was placing himself in the Jordan conversation. Fast forward to a late November game in 2025. During a dead ball, Luka extended his hand for a simple low five. LeBron looked